never sleep in traffic. There's living steady panic. I know 'cause I try acid. Now I see through your habits, just like gadgets. You tell me with the two hands, I'm too bad. Wonder what your things are like. Need me to get your bills paid. That's what you said. Well, I guess I'm just too fake for that. So sit down, listen, think for a minute. Know it might be hard 'cause you're uneducated. Break down, face it, breathe for a minute. I'm about to help you with your manners and respect. You get it? Just uneducated. But this so but you make it. One day, manners and respect. I'm a realist. I see your actions like an itchy clitoris. I never listen to the critics. They try to steal you from your feelings for cash. You tell me with the two hands, I'm too bad. Wonder what your things are like. Need me to get your bills paid. That's what you said. Well, guess I'm just too fake for that. So sit down, listen, think for a minute. Know it might be hard 'cause you're uneducated. Break down, face it, breathe for a minute. I'm about to help you with your manners and respect. Second chance, so take it till we feel the man. You never listen, think too fast. But one day you'll understand. So sit down, listen, think for a minute. Know it might be hard 'cause you're uneducated. Break down, face it, breathe for a minute. I'm about to help you with your manners and respect. You get it? Just uneducated. Just a little bit. But this so but you make it. One day, manners and respect. Respect. You can never sleep in traffic. There's living steady panic. I know 'cause
Write it on your heart that every day is the best day of your life. And why not think that? Let every day be the best day of the year. A month of self-love. That's what we're in now. Let that self-love be inner peace for you. It's all good. Work it for that, which is excellent for you. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. It's a 1-hour-long practice. If you can only stick around for 10 minutes, that's fine too. Just do what you can and be kind to you. Be compassionate for you and just have an acceptance of yourself. Do what you can with what you got. As the bottom of the screen says, do what's right for your body. Every day is different. Everybody's body is different. Some days this hurts, some days that hurts. Very rarely does everything feel just right. But our yoga will help us get that in line. Our yoga will help us find that sense of balance. Yoga is said to be the union, the balance between your mind, your body, and your soul. Let the movements that we go through today in this mobility and flexibility practice, let these movements today help you find inner balance. And one of the ways we do that is with measuring, with what we call our stress number. We take a stress number in the beginning of the practice and we come back and we see what it is and we just see if the little things are just more in balance than when we started. In fact, that's the word for today. It is balance. All right, so balance, you know what balance means. It means a steadiness, it means stability, and think of a scale. It means everything is equal. It's a precise little tender balance, but it's optimal when everything is in harmony. Let that be the case with you. So my number one word of advice, don't hurt yourself. Number two is just ease off the pressure. And number three is have some fun. Let it work for you. Grab your props. We'll need the 2 yoga blocks today. Maybe an eye shade and a little hand towel if you don't have an eye shade to cover your eyes at the end. The hand towel can also double for padding under your knees. Just make it work for you. And let's come on up to a standing position. All right, so every day our practices are different. I've told you that. We do Vinyasa, we do Yoga Plus, which is barre, Pilates, and Sculpt combined with our yoga. It's all different. Every day is different. I hope it's a challenge for you. I hope you enjoy it. All right, I'm going to start with my blocks. You don't have blocks? Totally fine. Don't sweat it. As I said, we're working on balance today. Lots and lots of balance because it's so important, especially as you get older. We're going to take that confidence stance. If you have the blocks and you want to, grab them. And what I'd like you to do, if you're comfortable, is stand on your blocks at a stable height. You decide. Reminds you, remember when you were little and you'd take tin cans and you'd put them under your feet with a string and you'd walk? Very similar, right? Or maybe they're nice, high, tall, ABBA-like platform heels. Whatever it is, get comfortable here. Maybe you're solid on the ground. Maybe you've got a chair nearby for balance. It's all good. Let's begin with our confidence stance. Hands on your hips. Thumbs can press a little bit into your low back and let that massage feel good. Send your shoulders, elbows back, and your shoulders down. So strike that pose of confidence. Stay right here. Now here's a real challenge. Maybe you start to rise up onto the balls of your feet. And if you don't like those blocks underneath your feet, step off of them and come down to the earth. I just want to challenge your brain a little bit. Like when we do cross-body exercises, challenging your brain a little bit by being elevated on your feet. Do what's right. Maybe you're holding on to a chair. Totally good. Lift and lower. Focus forward. Look at something that's not moving, maybe up toward the ceiling and the wall where they meet. Lift and lower, maybe stay up a little bit longer, maybe come on down and then rock onto your heels. Lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Find comfort, find balance, find stability here as you awaken your feet. So important. We start from the ground up, we awaken our feet. We'll do toes pose and ankle pose in a few minutes. But the thing is, you just want to find your balance here, your connection to the earth. As you're doing that, think of a positive statement that you can tell yourself throughout today, not only on your mat, but off of your mat. I call it a mantra in yoga. It can be something like, I am strong, I am able, I am capable. Just tell yourself that with each breath. Tell yourself that. Why not? Form those trenches in the mind that are solid and strong and positive and affirming. Don't get into ruts of negativity. There's a difference. Trenches are intentional, ruts are not. All right, let's finish up. How do your calves feel? Nice and strong, right? Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Lift your arms up to the sky. Interlace your fingers. Palms up to the sky and take your gentle palm tree pose. All right, the blocks are solid. Your feet are solid. But it does require some mental energy, knowing you're on those blocks and just holding on. All right, little stretches, lateral flexion of your spine. Let's come back to the midline of the body, hands to your low back, fingers down or up. Just be aware of what you're doing. It's a deeper stretch when you have your fingers pointing up. Push your hips forward. Again, look up to where the ceiling or the wall meet or look directly overhead as you take a gentle little back bend. Exhale, fold forward. And oh my goodness, let your fingers reach toward the earth, but the earth's pretty far away, isn't it? All right, reach your fingers down. A little softness in your knees might feel good. Look back to your knees or your belly button. Let your fingers come down, down, down. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. This feels so good. Let's do another big breath here. In through the nose, and sigh it out through the mouth. Let it feel good. When you're ready, roll your spine on up, one vertebra at a time. Come on back up to a standing position, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Whenever they're here, maybe close your eyes. That'll challenge your balance too. And tell yourself your positive mantra. Breathe in. breathe out. Arm circles. Tee out your arms. Draw little circles to the back of the room. They can be little circles. They can be bigger circles. As your circles grow and as they go round and round, maybe when the fingers come down, your knees bend and the arms come up, your knees straighten. Takes some thought, doesn't it, to balance. Balance. It helps you focus, too. Focus on the here and now. Don't worry about anything else. You can't think about anything else when you're worried about your balance. Circle your arms in the opposite direction. Breathe in through the nose. Refreshing breaths audibly out through the mouth. Come on up to a standing position. Your big coat swing. Start to sway from side to side, tapping your hip and your back side. Knowing that you are strong. Your body's amazing. Even if you're standing on these blocks, you just kind of know how far you can go, what you can do, maintaining that steady, constant, balanced scale balance. All right. Let's slow down the arm circles, a nice controlled twist. Come back to the midline of your body. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out as again you fold forward. Take your hands to opposite elbow creases. Think ragdoll pose. Put a little bend in your knees. Look back to your knees or up towards your belly button. And then start to sway your arms toward one knee, then the other. Maybe the eyes can close for a second or two, or just, kind of have your eyes at half mast. A little softness as the eye kind of flutters open and closed as you just get into your pose in this moment. Let's finish up. Come back to the midline of your body. Look back between your knees and up towards your belly button. Just hold on here. Release your fingers down to the mat. When you're ready, step off of your blocks and come into your child's pose. For today's child's pose, I'm going to get into my shoulders. I'm going to place the blocks at the top of my mat. You can have your knees together, big toes touching, hips back to your heels, reaching the arms forward. You can rest your head, your forehead on the block or no block at all. Arms can be down by your sides in a classic child's pose. As I mentioned, I'm going to get into my shoulders a little bit more. You might want to also. I'm going to take a wide-legged child's pose, knees spread apart, hips back to the heels. I'm going to find those two blocks. I'm going to put them at the medium height. That's going to feel good for me today. I'm going to let my head come down toward the mat and just breathe. Breathe in, breathe out, letting it go. You adjust your blocks if it feels good on your shoulders. If it doesn't feel good on your shoulders, release the blocks. Or even bring your arms down by your sides. Do what feels good. Maybe you've positioned the blocks and you want to adjust them even higher or lower. Do what feels good. I'm going to position my blocks a little higher and let my chest and forehead come down to the mat even more. Breathe in. Sigh out the tension. All right, your yoga is designed to help you live your life better off of your mat. It's not about the time here on the mat. It's about those 23 other hours of your day. How do you feel in moving through your day? Are you flexible? Are you mobile? Are you strong? Can you do the things you want to do off of your mat? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, I think about this statement. My husband says this. He says, I don't like the process, the yoga, but I do like the results. And that's what we're after. The results are how you feel when you get off of your mat. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Close your lips if you like and breathe only in and out of your nose. Building heat in your body, listening to the sound of your breath in the back of your throat. Breathe. All right, shoulders are nice and soft. Let's remove them from the blocks. Let's come on up to a standing on our knees position, and let's go into toes pose. Move your blocks back towards your body. Come on up to a standing on your knees position. Let's do our toes pose. Tuck your toes toward your shins. Have a seat on your heels. Shoulders further back if you want to intensify the pose even more. Hands can be on your shoulders, or because we did that great shoulder stretch, maybe you give yourself a big hug with one arm on top, then the other. Or maybe you say, I'm going to take my hands and interlace my fingers behind my low back, opening up through my chest, driving my fingers down toward the mat. Chest is lifted and a smile is on my face. Breathe in, Breathe out. Maybe it's mantra time. Breathe. And you know you can always have your hands on your thighs, whatever you like. This is your toes pose, stretching the fascia in your feet. As you probably know, your foot has 26 bones in it. Each foot has 26 bones in it, 33 different joints, 19 muscles, and 107 different ligaments, helping you stand, helping you move throughout your day. I'm going to take my hands now. I'm going to place them on my blocks and come into an ankle pose. Tops of my feet are on my mat. I'm going to sit back on the tops of my feet. I'm going to walk my blocks back, keeping my knees together, pressing into the blocks or the ground, lifting the knees up, 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 rocking back onto the tops of the foot. Go back and forth a few times from toes pose to your ankle pose. Your way, your yoga, you do it so it feels good in your body. Gaze forward perhaps and focus as you balance on the tops of your feet. Maybe you close your eyes to challenge that balance even more. Back to toes pose for me. What are you doing? Toes pose, ankle pose. Just flow through it. Find harmony, find peace, find a nice rhythm here that just feels like you're in control. You're flowing through the movements in your body, letting them work their magic. Soften in your jaws, soften in your shoulders, find your feet, find your feet, find your balance. All right, I'm going to come back to a neutral tabletop now. I'm going to remove my blocks. I'm going to place my hands underneath my shoulders. I'm going to lift my toes up. I'm going to squeeze and scrunch the toes, circle the feet, circle the ankles, tap the tops of the feet out on the mat. And just feel the space in your ankles, the ability to move your ankles even better. Press your hands into the mat, press your knees and the tops of your feet into your mat. Let's stretch our forearms. Bring your fingers back towards your knees. Palms are planted on your mat, and your forearms are shining forward. They're shining. Why not be shining? Wiggle your hips from side to side. Maybe still your hips and then move your bottom back towards your heels as you feel a nice stretch in your forearms. Maybe let the palms come off the ground as you move into the fingers even more. You should be widespread and feeling good. All right, maybe that forearm stretch feels awesome for you today. Stay here longer if you like. What I'm going to do now is come into a bird dog pose. So let's take our hands back to a natural position. Wiggle your fingers, let them go. Let's do bird dog, and then we'll do cat cow. So press into the earth. Lift your right leg up so your knee is at hip height. Dial your right hip down so your both hips are equal distant to the mat. Extend the right leg long, drawing the toes toward the shin. Oh, I can feel the strength and the compression in my low back here. Press into the earth and then send your right arm long. You could have those blocks for balance if you want, or just reach your fingers long and strong and forward. Press into the top of your left foot and into your right hand. Press and find length in your spine. Reach a little farther through your spine, through the crown of your head and through that right heel. Press, pull, you got it. Hand down, knee down, other side. Left leg lifts, knee to hip height. Chances are you got to bring it a little bit higher, and then extend the left leg long, drawing the toes toward the shin. Reach your arm forward, stretch. Hold on to the blocks if you want. Stretch a little farther, stretch a little stronger, stretch a little longer. Push into the earth. It helps you maintain your balance. Lengthening through the spine helps you find greater length and mobility in your spine. So maybe when we do cat-cow, it's going to feel really good here. But balance. Little did you think balancing on your knee and your hand would be such a challenge. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Tuck your chin to your chest and your tailbone under. Take cow pose, crown of the head lifts and tailbone lifts. Keep pushing into the earth with your four limbs. Do a few cat cows, letting it feel good in the low back. All right, I probably don't have to tell you this, but as you know, as you get older, balancing is harder. Balancing is a challenge. As you accumulate those birthdays on the calendar, the balance tends to go away. The only way to keep it, maintain it, and to improve it, I'm going to focus on the improvement. The only way to improve it is by trying, by balancing, by challenging yourself little by little every day. Lengthen through the crown of your head and your tailbone from your cat-cow pose. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Fire hydrant pose. Lift your right leg to the side of the room. Draw your toes toward your shin. Lift and lower a few times. Get into the hips. Find that mobility. Lift the right knee up and pulse the leg up, up, up to the sky. Bring your right knee to meet the left. Bring your leg back. The right knee at about hip height. Knee stays bent as you prepare for donkey kick. Dial your right hip down. Kick your bottom. Kick your heel toward your bottom. Breathe. Hug the heel close to your bottom, and then pulse the foot up, up, up to the sky. Plant the right foot down, or plant the right knee down. Lengthen through the spine. Take it on the other side. Draw your toes towards your shin. Lift the leg up on the other side and do your fire hydrant kick here. Lift and lower. Just get into the hips a little bit. Not like a Friday class when we do this for a long time. We're just doing a little bit here. Bring the left leg out so the knee is at hip height. Extend the left leg long and then rebend it. Kick the heel into your bottom. Kick, kick, kick for this donkey kick pose. Keep kicking. Check out your left hip. Make sure it's still down. Now pulse the foot up, up, up to the sky. Breathe. Push the earth away. Spine is long. Neck is lengthened. Put the left knee right next to the right and then plant it on down. Take your knees wide. Take a child's pose. Big toes touch. Hips back to your heels. Reach your arms long and strong to the top of the mat. Imagine sliding your hands a little more forward as you press into the earth, sinking your hips back to your heels even more. Chest comes down toward the earth. Doesn't have to touch. It's up to you. Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Real important for alignment. Hands under shoulders, hips, knees under hips. All right, let's take a cat-cow to even out. Chin to your chest, tailbone tucks. Inhale, cow pose, crown of the head, and tailbone lift. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Extend your right leg long. Press the ball of the foot into the mat. That feels good right there, doesn't it? Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Cross the leg over the midline of the body. Squeeze high in your upper inner thighs. Look over your left shoulder. Lateral flexion of your spine again. Look back to your foot, your knee, your bottom. When you're ready, come back. Gaze between the thumbs. Bring the leg all the way around. Sleep it all the way around. Send your right arm up to the sky as the right leg plants on the earth. Twist. Hand comes down. Knee meets knee. Left legs turn. Extend the left leg. Press into the ball of the foot. Press in. Let it feel good. Spine is still long. Lift the left leg up. Cross it over the midline. Look over the right shoulder. Back to your foot. Back to your knee. Back to your bottom. Hold it. Sweep the left leg around as your gaze comes back between your thumbs. Plant the foot on the left side of the body, maybe to about hip height. Lift the left arm. Look up to the left hand. Finish. Hand floats back to the earth. Knee floats back to meet the other knee. Cat-cow pose. Press into the earth. Tuck your tailbone. Inhale, cow pose. Crown of the head and tailbone lift. Nice job. Hold on here. Take a nice neutral tabletop. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take another wide-legged child's pose. Hips back to your heels. Push that mat. Slide the mat more forward. Tuck your hips. Or send your hips back to your heels. There we go. Breathe in. Breathe out. You got it. Maybe come back to your mantra, telling yourself how flexible you are. Yes, you are. All right, bring your shoulders underneath, or bring your wrists underneath your shoulders. Cat, cow, chin to your chest, tuck it under. Inhale, cow pose, crown of the head and tailbone lift. All right, let's go into a plank. All right, so here's the deal. We're going to take it in layers. We always do a plank. Not always. Most days we do a plank because a plank helps you build strength. Because right now we've strengthened the foundation with our toes pose and ankle pose and that confidence stance on those blocks. Ankles are good and strong. Bird dog and Donkey kick and fire hydrant helped you with the hips, helped you with the stability here in your low body. Let's do a plank to hold everything good and tight, to work on that strength. Take it in layers. Maybe you want to lie on your back, press your hands up to the sky, imagining the ceiling as the ground. Maybe you take a knee plank, walking your hands forward and your knees back, hinging forward, fingers spread wide, press the weight into your arms. You could slip that towel underneath your knees if that feels good. Maybe you take it in a low plank here, hovering the elbows in and the chest hovered above the earth. Maybe you take it on a forearm plank, or maybe you just take a Sphinx pose. Chest is lifted, gaze is forward down your nose as your legs stay long. Maybe you take a dolphin plank on your knees. Hinge the weight back a little bit, sending your hips high, elbows underneath your shoulders. Hold it here. You could tuck your toes towards your shins and lengthen through your body as you lift up into a dolphin plank, or take a high plank. That's what I'm going to do. So many options. Do what speaks to you. Shoulders over wrists, legs long and straight. Let's set a 1-minute timer for our plank. Go right ahead. Here we go. All right, press into the earth. Shoulders are over your wrists. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Look back to your feet. They should be hip width distance. Press into the earth. Stay nice and straight like a plank. Lengthen through the crown of your head and hold it here. You can take breaks anytime you want. That would mean dropping to your knees or sending your hips high to a downward facing dog. With the timer on the TV, let's look and see. All right, we've got about 20 seconds to go. You've got this. Hold on strong. Maybe you take 3 limbs at a time. I'm going to lift your right foot. Then I'm going to lift my left foot. Then I'm going to lift my right arm. Then I'm going to lift my left arm. Hold on. Press into the earth. You got it. 20 seconds left. Breathe in. Breathe out. You got it. Maybe try those leg lifts again. One leg up, then down. Other leg up, then down. One arm lifts. Other arm lifts. Hold on here for your last 5 seconds. Push the earth away. We are now done. Come down to your knees. Grab a drink of water. Have a seat on your bottom. All right. 1 minute. I don't know how long you did it. It's up to you. If you want to challenge yourself, time it and see how you do. All right, a little sip of water. Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. I'm going to do it with a block today. I'm going to bring the block to my mat. I'm going to place the block at its stable height down by my feet. Bring the soles of my feet to touch, and the pinky edge side of my foot is going to rest on that block. Come back to reclined. Fingertips lightly at your temples. Maybe you decide to stay right here and do nothing more. Totally fine. Fingers at the temples. I'm going to lift as I exhale, keeping my neck straight, letting my chin go up toward the sky. Lifts and lowers at your pace. Up on the exhale, in, on, or down on the inhale. All right, you don't like the block there, you can remove it. Totally good, totally fine, your call. Little lifts and lowers, elbows and knees. Stay open wide. Let's do 5 more and then we'll finish. Let's do 3, then 2, then last 1. Keep it lifted, elbows back, chin to the sky, pulse, pulse, pulse. Let's finish. Come on down. Shoulders are down by your shoulders are down. Bring your legs back together at the midline of your body. Time for bicycle pose your way. Maybe you keep the soles of your feet on your mat, fingers to the temples, peel on up to the shoulders, and twist one elbow toward one knee, then the other one does its magic. Maybe shoulders stay down, legs lift, knees over hips, toes toward the shins. Maybe you ride a recumbent bicycle by extending one leg, then the other. Nice pose in which to feel what it feels like when your tailbone is really plugged into the mat. All right, a quote by Einstein. I tell you the guys this the other day. Riding, life is like a bicycle. You gotta ride, life is like riding a bicycle. You gotta keep pedaling, you gotta keep moving, you gotta keep moving to keep your balance. All right, I'm gonna press on up, I'm gonna keep pedaling, I'm gonna bring my fingers to my temples, and I'm gonna bring elbows to opposite knees. Maybe you would like to straighten your legs and scissor kick them. You decide, find your balance, And when you're ready, finish stick pose. Toes point to the bottom of your mat and arms reach high overhead. Stretch it out, find length, feels good in your hip flexors. Breathe in, breathe out. Float on up however you want to come to a seated position. Take your strong core and maybe pull up or use your hands, totally fine. Boat pose, another core strengthening pose. Today I'm going to use the strap. I won't tomorrow. Come back and not use your strap tomorrow. All right, lengthen up here, shoulders over hips. Lean that back as if you were in a recliner. Hold on to the straps, elbows hugged in, lift your legs. Lift your legs and breathe and hold your legs solid here. A little bend into your knees might feel good. Find the B word. Find your balance here. You've got it. Don't let your chest collapse. Lift your chest and stay high. Hello, Liz and Tammy and Betty and Pam and Marietta, Diane, Tyrone, Stan, Kelly, Rena, Tim, Elizabeth, Teddy. How are you guys? Breathe. Oh, feels so good. Nice and strong in your variation of your boat pose. Let's bring the heels down gently. Lengthen up through your spine. Walk your hands down both straps. Let your nose go toward your knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in half, just like a standing forward fold. Let's take our strap away from our feet. Let's do our lunges with your blocks. Okay, so come to a standing on your knees position. We're gonna get back into those hips, keeping them nice and strong and flexible and mobile. Right foot forward, right knee over ankle. Use the blocks as they bring the ground up to you to allow you to send your left leg super duper long on the mat. Hips equidistant to the front of your room. Hold on to your blocks here, or maybe lift a little higher, or higher still. Maybe you like your hands on your hips. To help balance, press into your foot and the top of your left foot. So you're really pressing equally into both feet. Perhaps arms lift. Maybe you take a baby back bend. Maybe hands come back to prayer center as you tell yourself your positive affirming statement of the day. Maybe hands back to the blocks and we start to surf. Right leg bends a lot and then straightens a lot. Now you can keep your blocks here. Stretch through the shoulders, bringing your bottom more back to your heels. Bringing the right heel onto the mat, stretch it out. And if you want, you could walk your blocks back, maybe come back to have a seat on your heel. It's all your call. Use these blocks as you see best fit. Nice stretch in the shoulders and upper back if you keep holding on to those blocks in that position. Maybe more knee flexibility is what you're after. Maybe greater balance is what you're after. So have a seat on that heel, hands to prayer center. Exhale on up and inhale on up. And exhale, let it go when you reach the knee or the arms forward. Back to the heel, take it with control. Take it with strength. You've got it. Maybe a baby back bend feels good. Create your own little sequence here. I'm going to come to standing on my left knee. Bring the right knee to meet the left foot forward. Get everything aligned, and then you play with what you want. I'm going to send the right leg back long and straight, top of the foot on the mat. I'm going to keep my hands on my block, and I'm going to keep my left knee over my left ankle. I'm going to lengthen through my spine here and breathe. Maybe you decide to come up onto your fingers. Maybe even further still, shoulders come over your hips with your hands in prayer. Maybe arms reach up. Maybe arms reach back. Maybe hands float back to that prayer position, always a good place to be. And then you start to surf. Straighten the left leg and then rebend the left leg. Use your blocks as you like, as you see fit. Stretch it out, breathe it out. Believe in your body's abilities. It can do great things. Get your mind out of the way and just move to what feels right. I'm going to come back and I'm going to reach far forward. I'm going to come back to prayer center. Just quickly say your little mantra. Maybe arms lift, maybe back bend. Your yoga, you make it work for what feels good for you today. All right, I'm gonna finish here. Bring your shoulders over your hips. Left foot is planted. Let's come to standing. Now you try maybe not to use your hands, all right? So you sweep your right foot forward to meet the left and come up to standing. All right, let's do some balancing. Let's do You Will Look Taller. Feet together, maybe you place your blocks together and come to stand up on them again. Feet together. Ooh, that's too high for this camera angle, so I'm gonna step off of them. Maybe you stay on your blocks if you like. Lift your arms up to the sky. Reach through your fingers. Let's do You Will Look Taller. Legs are zipped up. Your body's in the shape of a letter Y here. Arms spread wide, shoulders to the back of the room. Breathe, or shoulders, I guess your shoulders too, but the backs of your hands to the back of the room. You, bring your arms into the shape of a W, pressing the backs of your hands to the back of the room. You will. 2 L's forward and backward for look, and tee them out. You will look taller. Let's do it again. The secret is to press the backs of your hands to the back of the room. You will look, T for taller. All right, let's do the third time. You will look terrific. Nice. Float your arms on down. Close your eyes. Just feel your good standing posture. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, let's do something a little different. All right, so this is again kind of working on the mind here. Balance. Step your right foot out to the side. Just have your toes on your mat, maybe hands on your hip, or maybe you have a chair. Little teeny pulses of the leg up, up, up to the side of your room. Maybe hands to prayer center, maybe hands to a chair. Breathe, tap, tap, tap. And when you're ready, other side. Feet meet at the center, lift your leg out and tap, tap, tap. Hands wherever feels stable for you. I think hips feel more stable. Chair would feel pretty good too, or maybe hands to prayer center. Little teeny taps. Take it back to the first leg side. Right leg extends. Lift the foot up and just hold it here. Hold it here and then pulse it up, up, up to the side. Little by little, finding your balance. If you need to touch the toes down, go ahead, but try not to. Find your balance in that standing leg. Don't lock the standing leg out. Breathe. Finish up. Right foot meets left. Extend your left leg out and then pulse it up. Try not to touch the ground. If you touch the ground, no big deal, but just find your balance. Weight is in that foundational right leg. Lift and lower, pulse it up and down. If you fall out, no big deal. Let's finish. Feet meet feet on your mat, hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Tree pose, Vrikasana. Challenge here. I am going to stand on a block. I'm going to root my foot into the block, hands to prayer center. Let's take tree. Maybe you keep the other foot on the ground, balancing on the toes there. Maybe the inner heel balances on the inner ankle. Inner heel, the heel balances on the ankle. Maybe you bring the foot a little higher, find your balance. Look to where the ceiling and the wall meet and hold. Maybe you slip the foot higher or higher still up onto the thigh. I'm not comfortable with that right now, so I'm going to stay right here, and right here where I am is just fine. I'm going to interlace my fingers behind my low back, and I'm going to take a toppling tree, sending the right foot back. Interlaced fingers work up the back wall. If you fall out, don't worry about it. You're not going to fall far, but find your confidence, find your balance. Interlaced fingers reach up toward the sky, leg reaches back, 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 and then slowly come back to a one-legged mountain. This is a challenge on this block. Lift your right leg up. Don't look at me because you'll lose your balance. Focus where something's not moving. Focus where the ceiling and the wall meet. Bring your right thigh to about hip height. Circle or lift your arms up high. Draw the toes toward the shin. Here's your one-legged mountain. Hold it. And then finish. Hands back to prayer center. Right foot comes down. That was a real challenge. It was for me. I wonder if it was for you. All right. I'm going to balance on the other side. You don't have to. Maybe it's a huge balancing act just being on the ground. Maybe being there with the chair is a huge balancing act. Don't sweat it. All right, I'm going to balance into this foot. I'm going to take my hands to prayer center. I'm going to bring my other foot so the knee is to the outside, to the opposite wall. I'm going to bring that heel up, up, up to where it feels comfortable. Hold it here. Find your tree pose. Maybe you grow a branch or two. Focus forward. If you fall out, get right back in. No big deal. I'm going to bring my hands back to prayer center. I'm going to guide my knee to the front of the room. Interlace fingers go behind the low back. You can do this. Focus forward, hinge forward. Interlaced fingers reach up toward the back wall. Leg lifts, arms go up. Gaze goes down to your right toes. Let's come into our one-legged mountain. Hands back to your prayer position. Find your balance. Lift the left knee so it comes to about hip height. Don't look at me. Focus on you. That's all that matters. I'm going to raise my arms up, up, up to the sky. Lift, knee to hip height. Hold on. You got it. Hands to prayer center. Left foot meets right on the ground this time. All right, how was that? Huge challenge. I hope it was a good challenge. Take a deep breath in and a big breath out. Eagle pose, Garandasana, another big balancing pose. Arms lift high to the sky, fingers reach, baby back bend. Arms go back up good and high to the sky. All right, eagle pose, Garandasana. Maybe you put your hands on opposite shoulders. Maybe you keep them at prayer center. Maybe you reach them forward as you bend your knees. Counterbalance here. Sink your hips back. Take the weight into your heels, lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. I'm gonna sweep my right arm under my left and have my palms touch. Elbows squeeze down, look over your fingers. Weight comes out of the right leg lifts, cross it over. Hook the top of the right foot behind the left. If you're seated in a chair, this is a fine pose to do seated as well. Hold on here in your eagle pose. All right, I'm gonna take this to an eagle-armed airplane. So think about that. You're gonna send the right leg back. You're gonna hinge forward so the razor edge, pinky edge of your hands is parallel with the mat. Lift your right leg up, dial right hip down, reach your fingers forward, find your balance in your eagle-armed airplane. I'm gonna have my right foot meet my left, uncurl my arms, lift up, extended mountain, baby back bend, if you like. Fingers go back up to the sky or to opposite shoulders or to prayer center. So many choices, execute one. Arms reach, knees bend, weight into the heels, toes wiggle. Opposite side, this time left arm sweeps under right. Elbows down, gaze over your fingers, weight out of the left foot a little or a lot, maybe cross the thigh, top of the left foot behind the right calf, bring your shoulders back some more to the back wall, squeeze your elbows down, squeeze your knees down, hold here, eagle pose. Eagle-armed airplane now, left leg reaches to the back of the room, palms are still touching. Hands reach to the front of your mat. Left leg lifts. You fall out, get right back in. Breathe in your eagle-armed airplane. Stay strong. You've got it. Don't quit. Left leg meets right. Come back up, extended mountain, stretch it out. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out, let it go. All right, dancer, we're gonna do this one tomorrow too. So just kind of ease into it. Maybe you've got a chair in front of you and you're gonna place your hand on it. No big deal. I'm gonna lift my arms. See, you're doing dancer right here. This is the first step. Circle your right arm, back, back, back. Weight into your left leg. Weight out of the right. Left arm is lengthening up. You're gonna take that right hand and all 5 fingers on that right hand. Capture inside your right foot. Bring your knees back together. Lengthen up through your fingertips. Exhale, kick into your hand. Reaching the left arm forward as a counter balance. Kick into your foot toward the back wall, then up toward the sky. Hold it here, stay strong, you've got it. Finish, right foot meets left, hands back to prayer center. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Arms sweep up, extended mountain. Left arm reaches back and circles, giant circles to the back of the room. Weight out of the left leg, Maybe all 5 fingers of your left hand capture inside your left foot. If you fall out, no big deal, get back in. Take it to the layer that's right, but don't quit, don't give up. Bring your knees back together at the midline. Lengthen up through your extended fingers. Kick to the back wall. Reach to the front. Kick the foot up to the sky. Hold it here in your dancer pose. Left foot meets right on the mat. Hands back to first center. Take a deep breath in. And a shoulder softening breath out. Balancing, so important. Hinge forward. Hinge forward. Let your fingers reach toward the earth. Little bend in your knees. Feels good. Put a bigger bend in your knees. Let your fingers come down to the earth. Slowly make your way down with bent knees, all the way down to your mat. Let's come into a seated position. Extend your legs long, toes up toward the sky. Extend your arms up to the sky. We did this a moment ago with the strap. Now we're going to reach forward without the strap. Maybe grab your ankles, hug your knees in, or hug your elbows in towards your knees, then look down towards your belly button. Breathe in, breathe out. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. All right, high stand. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's come down to a forearm. Forearm is parallel to the top of your mat. Shoulders over your hips. Let's take that starfish side plank. All right, you can stay on your knees, reach the arm up, and then reach it high overhead. Hold it here if you like, hands on the hip. Legs long, shoulder over elbow, remember that. Maybe press on up to a forearm side plank. Left arm lifts, left arm reaches to the front of your room. Lift through your hips, keep your hips stacked, breathe. There you go. Let's finish. Arms comes down, back to the hip, take it to the other side. Do it your way. Top or left forearm parallel to the top of your mat. Shoulder over elbow. Legs can be long. You can pop up onto your knees and reach long and strong through your fingertips. Legs can be long. Lift out of your waist. Take your side plank on your forearm here and then reach your fingers forward. Breathe. Come on down, all the way down to your hip. Back up to a seated position. Arms lengthen. Reach to the front of your room. This time, instead of grabbing your calves or your ankles, grab your toes. Pull your toes back towards your shins. Gaze down toward your knees or your belly button. Come on up, shoulders over hips, wide-legged forward fold. Spread your legs wide. A block in between your legs might be nice. Maybe press your blocks forward at whatever height feels good, and then place your forehead on that block. Draw your toes up toward the sky. Little bend in your knees if that feels better. Breathe in. Breathe out. The other day in our restorative practice, we held this pose so much longer. Everybody was bringing their blocks lower and lower and lower still. Play with it for what feels good for you here. Deep breath in lengthens your spine. Deep breath out allows you to bring your forehead closer and closer to the earth. On your next inhale, come on up, shoulders over your hips, come down to your belly. All right, we're gonna do Superman and swimmer. So come onto your belly, arms reach long to the top of your mat. Legs are spread a little bit so the tops of your feet are at the edges of your mat. Lengthen up here, lift one leg or both legs at the same time, and bring them down. Lift and lower. You do this your way, however feels good for your back today. I'm gonna lift out of my arms as well and fly like Superman. Balance on your pelvis, lift up and gaze forward and hold on. Breathe. Sweep your arms back like an airplane. Palms face down, fingers reach toward the pinky edges of your toes. Lift, come back to your Superman. Airplane, again, lift, come back to your Superman. Airplane, lift, again, bend your elbows, place your hands under your collarbones, press on up to a seal pose. Let this be a heart opening pose, a chest opening pose. Chest shines forward, tops of your feet are on your mat. Breathe here, heart. Find room in your heart for yourself. All right, let's finish up here. Send your knees wide. Wide-legged child's pose. Stretch it out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stay here if you like. I'm going to bring my knees underneath my hips and come to standing on my knees. I'm going to tee out my arms, palms face down, and I'm going to rotate to the right, and I'm going to look over my right shoulder. Come on back to the midline of your body. Exhale, turn to the left. Reach your arm back. Do it a few times. Back as you inhale to center. Exhale, take that twist and look over the shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Take the twist and look over the other shoulder. Reaching through straight arms, back to center. Remember, supine twist will do that too. Very similar, just working that waist, working that controlled motion in your torso. Come back to the prayer center position, hands back to prayer center, deep breath in, and deep breath out. Hands to your low back. Remember how we did that when we did our back bend, that's what it's called. Push your hips forward, look up to the sky. Maybe flip your hands so your palms are touching your low back, but your fingers are going up, and you can press your thumbs into your low back. Push your low back forward, look up to the sky. Exhale, slowly bring your shoulders back over your hips. Let's come on down to the mat. As you have a seat on your bottom, grab a block, put your eye shade and or your towel up near your shoulders. Let's do a bridge pose. All right, so let's put the block at a stable height underneath our feet for today's bridge. Press into your block. You could do 2 blocks too. One is just a little easier and quicker. I'm gonna press my hips up good and high. Arms down by my side. I'm gonna wiggle my shoulders closer to my spine. I'm gonna lift higher out of my hips and hold it here. Fingers can interlace behind your low back. If you've never done that before, because there's maybe not enough space, you got some space now. Interlace your fingers behind your low back, but push your pinky fingers into the mat. Don't let your arms float up so your thumb is hitting your backside. Put your pinky fingers down. Lift high in your bridge here. When you're ready, release your hands and then slowly roll your spine down, 1 vertebra at a time. When you're all the way down, let's remove that block, just scoot it aside, and let's do our supine twist. All right, I'm gonna start by sending my left leg long, drawing my toes up toward my shin and bending my right knee. I'm gonna lift my right knee up. You can use your towel if you like to hold on to and place it under your knee to allow you to hug the knee in some more. I'm gonna interlace my fingers under that knee. My left toes are drawn toward my shin to allow my calf to stay planted. Circle the ankle this way and that, hugging the knee some more, using the left hand to hold onto that right knee. Cross that leg over the midline of the body as you roll onto your left hip. Keep your right shoulder down, tee out your right arm, and gaze toward the right side of your room or toward your right hand. Breathe in, breathe out. Both bottom cheeks come back to the mat. Hug the knee in one more time and circle the ankle. Right leg goes long. As soon as that heel touches down, left leg sweeps up. Right toes toward the right shin, ensuring that the right leg stays long with the calf plugged in. Interlaced fingers or towel under the left knee. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. Circle your ankle this way and that. Right hand to left knee. Roll onto the right hip. Shoulders stay down, left arm tees out, look to the left. This is your supine twist. Bring both bottom cheeks down, interlaced fingers, hug the left knee in again, circle it out, send the left leg long to meet the right leg on the mat. Both legs lift up to the sky. Point and flex your toes, keeping your ankles glued. Now think of your feet in this point and flex position. Think of it as like a ratchet going all the way down to your mat. Keep your legs nice and long, pointing the toes, flexing the toes, pointing the toes, flexing the feet, pointing the toes, flexing the feet, coming all the way down, down, down. Once you're down, bend your left knee toward the left armpit, right knee toward the right armpit. Hug the knees in good and tight. Happy baby pose, Ananda Balasana. Rock from side to side here as you hold your knees. Maybe you draw your toes towards your shin a little bit more and work your hands down those inner calves. rock back and you capture your heels. I have to peel my shoulders up to capture my heels. I draw my toes toward my shins, then I bring my shoulders back down. Send one leg up to the sky, then the other. Happy baby pose. More like happy frog, right? Your legs, knees are wide to the sides, heels going up to the sky. Happy baby. Let's finish. Send your heels up to the sky. Release your hands and tee them out. Bring your ankles together, toes drawn towards your shins, and then open up your legs into like the shape of a letter V. As you're ready, legs come back to meet at the midline. Ratchet your toes. Point and flex all the way down to your mat for your final Shavasana. Talk about the tailbone plugging into the mat. Oh, it's there. Flex and point the toes, slowly lowering down. Once you're all the way down, relax, release, you're done. Bring your heels to the outer edges of your mat. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or towel. Palms down, or arms down by your sides. Wiggle your shoulders away from your ears. And breathe. Deep breath in and deep breath out. We worked a lot with balance today. We worked a lot with the low body today. We didn't neglect the upper body. Remember, we did eagle and big arm swings, and we didn't neglect the upper body, but our focus was the foundation, the low body, finding strength, mobility, and flexibility there. Deep breath in. Big sighing breath out. Let it go. All right, here's the deal. Turn your head a little bit from left to right. Just let it feel good, like a little skull massage there. Turning your head, turning your neck. Come back to resting at the midline of your body. Stay here as long as you want. You can hit the pause on your remote and stay here until you decide you want to get back into the action and get off your mat. Once you do that, hit play. And then take a deep breath in. And a deep, slow breath out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. On an inhale, reach high up overhead and stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Oh, let all distractions go. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, and roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Knees are together, hips are stacked. Use your low arms, elbow, as a pillow for your head. When you're ready, take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let it go. Top shoulders relax. When you're ready, slowly float on up, using your hands or not. Just be aware of what you do. Always be aware of what you do. Sit comfortably in the legs, whatever works for you. Hands to prayer center, always a good place to be. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let it go. Blink your eyes open. You did it. 1 hour. 1 hour of a lot of movement. How was it for you? Stress number you took in the beginning. What was it? And now, what is it? It's a little lower, isn't it? Don't you feel better when you move your body? Excuse me. Write it on your heart that today's the best day ever. Because it is. See you on your mats tomorrow. You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.